And like,
All right, here we go.
yeah.
There's a fair amount of QRM here, so I'm going to try to put on the amplifier and see if I can cut through it. So, all right, can I have your attention, please? All right, so the program that we use for let's see if we can find it here. It's up here. That we use is called N3FJP's software, and let that slide off. We'll bring this down here a little bit. And what's great about this software is that it's pretty straightforward to use, but also it does a lot of useful things, especially when you're in a contest. So first thing you'll end up doing is so right now I've got this computer here that I'm doing the Zoom on, but also I've got 2 additional laptops that will be here for that. But if you're bringing your laptop up and you've got you already have the software on there, go and open it up again, like right now, or as soon as you get home, and get the latest update, because it needs to have the most recent update. And if you installed it within the last couple of years, it will automatically know that it needs to update, but you just need to have internet access. So you'll just put the call sign. So let's see here. Let's go KU20. All right. Now, as I started typing it, actually, let me go back here a little bit. If I just type the letter K, well, normally there would be if I had already talked to somebody. Let's see, 24. I'm on 15 CW. Let me go to. So I have to go to the band. I'm going to go to 20 and careful, PC1's on 20. And I go to the mode and go okay. So now if I type in, let's see if I can look on 20 phone, N2BHT, N. Oh, so even as I'm starting typing, it'll say, okay, these are possible dupes. So that if you know what the call sign is, as you start typing, you can say, oh, we already have them. I mean, obviously, right now, with 8 contacts in this sort of test database, it's easy to find it, but as you start wrapping up a couple of hundred contacts, having those dupes there are very useful. And so if I go N3LD, haven't worked N3LD, and then so then I wait for if I'm making that contact, and okay, Leon is working 1A. And he happens to be, we'll say maybe he's traveling and he's in Eastern New York. Yeah, if I type Eastern New York. Now, you'll notice that, I actually put KD2QHU in Eastern New York. So let me do this. I'm going to say he's in Connecticut, CT. Then you'll see over here that section, it says it's new. So that's a multiplier for us. And then as soon as I hit return, it's right there. And I'm on 20 phones. So now we go and let's go back to 15. Here's actually another neat thing about this. Up here where it says network, if I click on that, it'll show me what other computers are and where they're located. So like right now, this computer I call Space Science. So right now I'm on 15 phone, and you can tell that I'm on 15 phone. PC1 is one of the laptops over there. It's on 20 phone. And the other laptop, we call it green tent, is on 40 phone. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go over and go to one of these laptops here and go to the software. Just get out of this little screen here. All right, so right now I'm on 40 phone, and so let's who else can we call? NA1SS. How about that? We'll call him DX. Well, actually, we'll call him 1A, and it's a satellite station where we'll call him DX. And then as soon as I hit enter, it shows up here, but it also showed up on the other computer as well.
And that's only if you have them networked together, correct?
Right, and so that's what we're going to do is make sure that any computer that we're going to use is in fact networked. Now, Gary Dewey, AB2GD, and I worked out the details on this, and we will actually be on Saturday morning. Gary will set up a new file. You'll actually have to navigate to that, but we've got that all worked out. And then once you've navigated to it, we're good. And I'm trying to think what other things about this. What's also nice is that you can see off in the right-hand side here in the various call districts. Now that I made Connecticut, so it's blue, which means that we've gotten that one. So all these the ones that are in red are states or sections that we've not contacted yet. So as you start making those contacts, and that's again just for this particular band in this particular mode. If I go to 40, it'll show that'll paint differently. All right. I'm trying to think what other things of note. I mean, quite frankly, that's really about all you really need to do. Now, if you decide, I didn't really make that contact, I need to edit it. It's not DX. We'll call it I can do SAT. Done. No, it doesn't like SAT. So, all right, we'll just keep it at DX. And so you can in fact edit that information, or like if you figure out that their class was you put the class down wrong, you can go back and edit it, or you could completely delete that entity. Right. So, but when you delete it, so if I put my next call in here, so let's see here, who else will we do here? What's your call sign?
KD2YGL.
YGL. And let's say here.
I have solar power, so you could use that.
Okay.
That's cool.
1D, and let's put you in, where should we put you? Wisconsin.
That works.
So
There's a cool map too you can bring up that'll show the states you've worked.
oh yeah,
If you go in there, there's a map.
is it view map?
Yeah, there you go. And it'll show you the states you've worked
Yeah, so that's
because they're colored.
yeah. Nice. So it really is pretty straightforward software. Also, what's interesting is the last couple of field days, N3FJP was actually one of the stations that we ended up contacting. So if you in fact talk to them, just say, hey, we're using your software. Thanks a lot. Works great. Yeah.
So I will say 2 notes about the program specifically, if I may.
Yeah.
The author did put out an email saying to specifically update the newest field day logger,
Right.
because of something with like Canadian call signs or
Yes.
stuff being weird.
The new right again. Right. So a couple of things.
Well, I'm just saying because it's not like just a general update, like you need it for
Right.
good reason.
Because all of these Canadian sections have changed. So like Ontario East, Ontario North, Ontario South. Yeah, so TER is the Northwest Territories, Saskatchewan, Quebec, Prince Edward Island, Nova Scotia. I know Newfoundland, Labrador, New Brunswick.
It's VO, right? They're using VO instead of VE.
Oh, it's extraordinary. I've been doing a lot of FT8 recently, and I've seen CK as a prefix for Canada. Yeah, so
Canadian
there's
Kingdom,
what?
it's Canadian Kingdom.
Well, actually, and there's special event stations recognizing the coronation of King Charles.
That's
So,
right, yeah.
but anyway, so that's basically it. So again, if you you will have at least 2 laptops here. We could really use a couple more laptops that would stay here that we, because that's how we're gonna log. Also, if for whatever reason you end up working outside, we now have pretty significantly improved Wi-Fi. In fact, Gary and I took this laptop. I was standing out in the parking lot, near the, like the entranceway, and I was making contacts, logging contacts, and it was coming through fine. So, so that the days of having to run Ethernet cable outside are gone. Yeah.
My other note is gonna be that any operator that does wanna download this, he makes like every contest specific logger you can think of.
Yeah.
But they all have functions like that where you can log to each other. I love his software, that's just a personal
Yeah.
note. But you go to his website, you download it, I'm assuming Vera has a key to
Yes,
unlock it,
right, so-
and then you would just type in the.
And Gary has that unlock key. So, and every contest has its own separate key. So, but Gary has that information, and so if you do bring your software and bring your laptop up, and you end up loading in it for the first time, Gary can get you set up. So, again, the contest starts at 2, or the event. It's not a contest. The event starts at 2 and goes for 24 hours. And so let me go back to.
No, it's like, hey, I'm signing for an update.
Yeah, but you were,
Yeah.
your version was.
Yeah, the notification did.
Well, yeah, but it doesn't automatically install it for you. It prompts you saying, hey.
Yeah,
update
you
right
need to
now.
update. Yeah. Ed
Does it send CW?
does not send it. No, this only does logging. So it's not. There's no connection to the radio.
So you type in the call, you still gotta send it.
Oh yeah, yeah. In the same way you have the same talking to the microphone.
One point there, it does have connection to the radio, and that can be confusing sometimes. I messed up last year in as much as I changed bands, and
Yeah, it didn't.
everybody thought I was on one band and I was on another one, and
Right.
they got confused over it.
So typically what we end up doing is whatever radio is going to be in this room, it's going to sit on that one band pretty much the whole time. Whether you do phone or CW, that's what you'll be on. If you want, you can even change your operator, so you can put your name in. So the operator, I can say KA1M. That exclamation point. KA1M. And BD. So now any further contacts that I make. So I go. Oh, that's the other thing is you can make K2ZRO. You see, I've already talked to K2ZRO, but I talked to it on 40 phone. Here I'm working on 15 phone. So if I go back and then I can do, see, it automatically filled in because I already made the contact on another station. It automatically filled in the class and section for me because we've already made a contact, and boom, there is the contact on 15 phone. And it has my initials and my operator. So if you want to, you don't have to, but it's more of you can keep track of how many you actually talk to. Now the other thing that you also, if you're interested in, you can actually click in this upper left hand corner. You can click here and it'll just show you the contacts made on this band in this mode. If I go to let me go back to 40 phone. I had to refresh it, but then you can see these are the contacts at 40, we're on 40 phone. All right, and then if I go to 20 phone, and that shows you those as well. So it's, I remember the first couple of years we tried doing this, we had some networking issues, but Gary and I feel pretty confident that we've got the networking down pretty stable. Yeah, Rick.
Shouldn't we decide what class we're gonna be now?
I would say, well, it's probably, I mean, you can do that Saturday morning when you know for sure how many stations you're
I
gonna
think
put up.
we should at least be 5. Or 5 stations.
I think we generally do 5A, because we rarely have 6 at a time, don't we?
That covers,
Right.
10 through 80.
So, I'm trying to think, so setup. Yeah, setup is, here's where we would go. So last time we did this, we were using 4A, so we would just change this to 5A. Western New York.
But would the A designator change because we're using commercial?
If, you know, so, yeah, so you'd have to figure out what's the, I think that's, is it B? Up
Would be D.
Used to
I
be.
think it's
D?
still A. I think it's still A, but you just get your multiplier, don't you?
No,
Yeah, I
No,
think
it's the
he
same
is, he is emergency power, I
Right.
believe, so I think it is still A.
So,
all right,
long time ago it was.
How much memory did it?
so somebody needs to just check that out, check into that.
Gary's on it right now.
Yeah, look at.
I just had a comment about the log software.
Yeah.
If you end up wanting to get it, like for yourself, like maybe not just to come up here, but at your house. A lot of people use it. I recommend you buy the suite. Because what it is you'll get a choice to buy a log. Like say you wanna buy just a field day, and it's so much per log. But if you buy the suite, which is like, I think the cost of like
It's like $25.
like 2 logs, you get every log that he has, every log and any future logs. So if you're gonna buy it, I recommend you just buy the suite, and then if he comes up with 10 new logs over the next 5 years, guess what? You're gonna
There's this contact clause.
All right, so here is, but just the contact log is $40, I think.
It was probably like $30, but I probably had it over 10 years. So
Yeah, Drew's looking it up right now.
it's very good.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's
for
60.
$60, you get it all.
Price is going.
Or like 1 for 40. So.
Does it have
No,
an additional discount?
It does not, unless you're running parallels or yeah.
But it's one of those buy once, cry once. You buy the $50 now, you get all his software ever.
Yeah.
Like he even has logging stuff. He has like a Morse code trainer and some other stuff too that are part of the
So that
big
60
package.
bucks is a one-shot deal?
Right,
Yeah, or you can buy just a contact logger for $40. The special contest loggers go from like 5 to 10 to.
so like, yeah, so if you just wanted to do the field day, it would cost you $9.
And another thing he offers is, let's say you do just get the field day, you can later hit him up and be like, look, I love your field day software, I want the whole package. He'll email you with, whatever the difference in price, you pay that, now you got it all. So you're not having to buy a thing twice.
Is that on N3FJP?
N3FJP.com.
You will get an email that will have the password for every contest.
And if
So
you
you
go-
save that email.
And if in future he releases new ones, just shoot them an email saying, hey, I want access to this logger, and I don't have passcode. Right there. They email you back.
It's probably the most popular one out there.
Right.
It's what we always use.
Well,
Right.
especially for features like that, the fact that you can network with them, and it's not just the context.
I was
logger,
like,
you
they
can log-
have the colonial and all that, you can use that for that.
They have a ton of stuff. It's not just
We will still be class A.
Will be, okay. All right, so, any other questions? I'm trying to think, we talked about a new, mode, not mode, but there was some kind of a thing where you can actually sort of see other clubs' scores as it's going on.
I had to guess, it'd be under view.
You can?
statistics?
No, I think so.
No,
But,
that's just.
no, there was a. And,
Just Google N3JFP.
I think you can send your logs to, to a website that updates as you're going and gives you stats, but you gotta have that website.
Web upload contest status. Oh, 3/4 of the way down.
upload,
Right there. Huh.
That's if you chose to do that.
all right,
They
I mean,
used to do it for
if
free.
you wanna feel really. Bad about what you're doing,
Yeah.
go check this out. So, anyway, again, right now we are more into just trying to operate. And, so again, last month we talked about, some contesting tips and tricks. And so, again, try to start a pilot. And, like I said, my wife and I, when we were operating for about 3 hours, I think pulled in almost 150 contacts. So once you sort of start your own pile up, it just sort of pretty much feeds itself. So, any other questions? Yeah.
Now, for field day, we have to be in the premises of the so I know other.
Within
operators-
1,000 feet.
Okay, I was gonna say, because I know other operators are doing field day and POTA at the same time,
Oh.
and I know a couple of
Yeah.
people in the club like that idea, so I wonder
Yeah,
if we can do that, or.
I don't recall, I know that in the past, they've also would allow you to do field day on your own, and then you could add your score to the club's club score. And we'll have to,
COVID started that.
Yeah. so that might be another option.
I still think there's one.
I don't think they're gonna stop doing that.
Okay. So,
Yeah, you should.
all right, well,
What we're saying.
unless there's any other question, actually, and this is more of a, when you're first setting it up. So right now, like I said, I've got this set up as space science. If I could just say, big room, 20 meters. Or yeah. Or first of all, meters, correct. Now, if I go to,
What screen are you under?
on the network,
On that one.
yeah, so I brought network up. Actually, that's right, actually need to enable chat status. So big room, 20 meters. And, now if I go over here, if I bring up network. I see big room 20 meters, but oh yeah, it says big room, you're under 20. It doesn't see the 20 meters. And this PC went to sleep. And let's see. So green 10, and this is PC 1.
20 years still.
Not 20 phone. Oh, no, this one moved to 15. Phone. There we go.
On my arm?
That switches to 15 phone, and there you can see that how that switched automatically. So it's a pretty neat software suite. I mean, it's not super expensive, but it's not free. But it's, the club owns it, so that's what we use. Any other? Yeah.
I have a question, but you said that there was a screen that had the popping up, talking, or other stations out there, what?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember where that was. It's
Is
a
it the
new feed.
spots you're talking about?
No, it was more of the impression I got, actually, hold on, let's
Just
see.
say, I Googled and here's the thing about spots where it'll pop up as what frequency and whatnot they're on, and it's
Right.
under the band map, I think. Yeah, the band map will follow right along.
So, go back to it. No, not,
It's just like a text printout, but it says
Right.
station, frequency, and so forth.
yeah, it was, the impression I got was that it actually showed other stations, overall contact, overall, score.
Gotcha.
So.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about, but I can't remember.
Yeah. But anyway, again, it's not important for what we're doing, but, so again, unless there's any other questions, yeah,
I just have a newbie question.
yeah, please.
How do you get those call signs? Is it come to you like, just by whatever available, or can you choose?
So basically, when you pass the test, not if, when, okay? When you pass the test, the testing, group, in our case, it's the Laurel group here, sends the information in to the FCC. The FCC will then send you an email with your call sign. And so, because you're getting it here in New York State, the number will always be 2. So like in this case, at K2ZRO, 82YGL. I happen to be KA1M, and when I upgraded to my class of license, I was living in the Boston area. And in New England, the 1 represents calls so they got their license in New England. So right now they're probably, it would be a KE2 L something or other. And then if you continue and upgrade yourself to a point where you get the highest class license, then you can actually go and see what other call signs are available. Like sometimes, maybe some older gentlemen either, let the license lapse or they have passed away. And so, like actually K2ZRO was my father's call sign. And he passed away in 1984, and in like 2000, the club here, before I even moved back here, asked my family if the K2ZRO could be the club station here, which they said yes. And so they went and got that call sign. So it's really a draw of the hat. But then again, like Gary, what was your call sign before?
82PYB.
82PYB, but then when he got his extra class license, he got 82GD, Gary Dewey. All right.
And you can even let the computer pick your call, that's all mine.
Yeah.
Mine went to the computer.
But you can pay for any license that's available at the time. My
Right.
wife's called KGA-MOE, is a special license because she has G8-MOE as well.
Oh, very nice.
And my son has KK6-EME because we were doing EME.
You made
at
it
the
to work.
time.
Yeah. My wife was looking for KA1E. Kale. She loves kale. Fortunately for me, she didn't get it. So now she's N3FJP.
Did you turn the record off before you said that?
Yeah. Ooh. I'll get it in post. Anyway, so yeah, so that's, keep studying, and when you're almost ready, give it a shot. Because all you gotta do is pass, you gotta pass it once, and you're good. So, then you get yourself an HT, and then you get to talk to Ford.
That's a good thing, Ford, that's a good thing.
So,
What happens if you don't pass the first time?
well, it depends, the way the testing we run here, if you're, of the, is it 35 questions or 30?
35.
35 questions. If you are off by 1 or 2, you might say, well, you know what? I'll give you a different version of the test. Let's have you sit. Otherwise, then say, all right, come back next month and just do a few more of the tests. So it's.
But sometimes, it's just nerves, the stuff, but you're a little shaky because.
Yeah. And, yeah, so it's really low, let's see, low pressure. And then, but either way, even if you wanted to, you could come up for field day, even if you're not licensed, and you could listen. And if you wanted to, you could actually be the one talking on the air, as long as there's another operator doing the transmit. So,
Not to mention that for field day, there'll be a bunch of experienced operators, so you open the door questions you might have discovered during your testing or this and that.
Also, someone operating on the Goda station is getting 5 times the points on voice that a fully fledged licensed
Right.
operator is getting.
right, exactly.
And there's no limit this year. You
Right.
can make as many as you want this year.
That's great. That's great.
Go on, yeah.
All right, so I will
Andrew?
be back. Yes,
Hey, Drew, this is Ed, N3FJP. You might want to mention to the lady there that there are free online training and practice exams that she could take on the internet, and would help her kind of learn how the testing what it looks like ahead of time. And if she takes the practice exams enough times, it'll give her an idea of what the answers would be too for many of the questions.
On the ARRL website.
Mhm.
ARRL website.
Well, yeah, that's, or you just put it in your favorite search engine and just say ham radio test websites and they'll be, oh, they have an app. In fact, that's my wife did. She surprised me.
App study, you can do it online
Yeah.
for free or on your
Right.
phone for $4.
Yeah, some of the websites actually are nice because they'll test you and then they see which questions you get wrong, and then when they test you, they'll sort of go back to that same question eventually and remind you what it needed to be. So. All right, well, I got a 10-hour drive tomorrow, so if it's all right, I'm gonna say 73 best DX and have fun this weekend.
Yeah, and you have a safe trip.
Thank you, I will, and
And don't get COVID.
no,
keep the line open.
thank you.
Thanks.
All right, I'll
Thanks for the presentation. Drew.
all right, thank you. So again, Gary will be up here and get things set up, and so you'll just need to go in to the server and create the
Post.
the new file for that day.
Yep.
And we're good to go. All right. Take care. Thank you all for watching on the live stream, and I'm gonna shut off the recording.